Welcome to this week's video. This week I'm doing a little bit of solo hammock camping with the Volvo on the way to get some parts from IPD Performance in Portland. I live in Spokane, so that's a bit of a drive, but I'm just coming over here to visit my family anyways, so might as well get the parts while I'm here. Feel free to skip to the fun part down below. There's chapters. Let's get right into it.
The reason I decided to camp last minute is because I ordered these parts, the skid plate, the fuel line under tray, and the timing belt and water pump kit from a company called IPD, and they're located in Portland, Oregon. It's about 40 minutes out of my way where I'm going, but if I go to where I'm going and then go down there and get my parts, it's a 2-hour round trip. And so I'm hoping to stop in Portland and grab those parts, and that would save me 50 bucks shipping. However, of course, they're only open on business days, so I'm gonna have to get there on Monday. So I'm planning on leaving Sunday night, camping outside of Portland, grabbing my parts early Monday morning, and then working Monday. And that should make it so I have to take the least amount of time off of work, which is optimal. Plus, it's always fun to go camping. Anyways, enough of me talking. Let me get working. It's Sunday morning about 9:38. If I want to find camp before dark, I need to get out of here pretty soon, so just gotta throw a few more things in the Volvo and get moving. Let's get on with it. Well, with that, I think I'm ready to go. Got a bunch of tools in here because I'm planning to do the timing belt over there, and my dad has most of the stuff, but I just figured I'd bring some extras. Like, he doesn't have the impact of the automated ratchet, which I don't know how much I'll need of those, but it'll be nice to have them if I need them. Got my hammock stuff, recovery gear. All right, I'm on my way. It took me a little longer than I thought because I had to make a route on Gaia for where I'm gonna camp tonight, but now we're on our way. Gotta go to the grocery store, gotta go drop something off at a relative's, and then I can finally get out of town, hopefully. Yeah, about by 11, so that was my latest possible that I really wanted to be out of here by, but that's okay, we'll find a place to camp. Package delivered. Now I think it's time to stop by Grocery Outlet, grab some energy in a can, and some food for tonight. I didn't bring the stove, so we're just gonna be winging it and seeing what we can get away with. Probably a bunch of junk food, to be honest. Well, it wasn't too much of a bargain market at Grocery Outlet today, but I found a few things, some veggie chips, some meat crackers and cheese, and some other junk, as well as a couple energy drinks that I thought was sufficient, but I think I'm just gonna grab fast food, have a late lunch, call it a day. I need to get on the road though, try and find camp before dark. Made it to Wendy's in Pasco. I haven't eaten anything all day, so I'm starving. This is gonna be sort of my late lunch. Hopefully it tides me over and I can fill in the gaps with crackers and cheese and meat. 15 to 20 minutes later, I've had some mediocre food, but I'm not hungry anymore, so that's good. I think I have about 3 hours left to where I'm gonna start looking for a camp, left to the trailhead, I guess you might say. I guess I better get started. I just drove up a long gravel road and then hit pavement again, and now I'm going to drive on pavement for a while until I hit a logging road eventually. I don't know how far that is, but I've got Gaia up, and then we'll start looking for camp. I'm excited. This is the fun part. All up until here, up until I went up that road, it was boring, but this is fun. Unfortunately, this road is actually a dead end. There were signs for it, but I thought maybe the gravel roads were open because it just said that this road was closed, and also the gravel roads have been blocked off. And so now I gotta browse around in Gaia for a bit and see if I can find another way to find a camp. There were also just people camping alongside the road here, so that's also an option, but I'd like to get further out than that, you know? This is turning out to be harder than I had hoped. I keep coming to dead ends like that gate there where there's not a gate marked on Gaia. So I have another plan. I see a spot where I might be able to get around this closure and get back onto the road that I want to be on, that I plan to be on. But I don't have that high of hopes. I might have to just pitch up next to the road or something. We'll see how it goes. I think this is going to be my last update until I find camp though, because I think we've got about 2 hours until the sun sets, maybe 2.5.
and that does not give me too much time, so I'll see you in camp. So I lied, here's another update. Essentially the forest land is just over there, probably maybe 5 or 10 miles, but there's private land between me and the forest land. So I gotta go further into Mount Hood. I was really wanting to camp close to Portland so I could just get in there really quick and get my parts tomorrow morning when IPD Performance opens, but this is what it is. I'll have to see how long it's gonna take me, and then I'll just have to get up that early, I guess. So I've got a bit more driving to do today. Hopefully the payoff is good. Looks like I might be pulling into camp at dusk though, at the earliest. Alright, so we've got this lovely block in the road here. It really seems like they don't want you camping out here. I could camp under those power lines you just let me driving under, but I'm thinking this looks a little more promising. So I think we're gonna try and go down there as far as I can.
All right, I think we found our camp and it's not even dark yet. Now I gotta figure out where I wanna hang up my hammock. I think these 2 trees are my trees. Yo, I'm stoked on that. God, I love this form of camping. This is sweet. For just one person camping, a hammock makes so much sense. Let me give you the tour here. I've obviously got hooked up to these 2 trees, and I can actually just about fully stand up in here. And there's just lots of space. We could probably fit 4 people under this tarp. And then same on this side, I can just about stand up. In the wise words of Steve Wallace, I believe it's time for a step 2. So tonight for a step 2, I have a Hazy Big Ballard by Red Hook. This is left over from last week's camping trip. That hits the spot. But I guess while I drink my beer, I'll show you around. I'll show you where I'm camping. So this is walking away from camp, as you can see. And if you look right through the trees there at the kind of lighter spot where it opens up, that's the road. And there's our creek. Man, I'm really tempted to move the hammock over here and set up here instead. This would be a really sweet camp spot, but I really want to keep close to the car. It'll help me pack up quick in the morning. And there's another campsite right here. A big old log across the road. Oh yeah, there's actually picnic tables and everything. It almost feels like I've wandered into a real campground with maybe like a closed off loop or something. I know there's a campground around here, but I thought I was a ways away from it. Let me just walk back to my Volvo from here, and in case anyone comes down here, keep out of their way. And just like that, we're back at the Volvo. Well, with that, I guess I'll just hang out until it's time to go to bed. I got nothing else to do. Brought the Steam Deck, of course. Maybe we'll play some games, eat some crackers, meat, and cheese. Step 2, number 2 is an Iron Horse Imperial IPA. There we go. Well, it's about 9:30. I think it's time for bed. All right, so this is what my setup looks like right now. The Volvo is just down there, and here's my hammock, of course. But I've got my chair here. This works as help for getting in and out, plus a little bit of a nightstand. You can see I've got my Steam Deck in it. One of my favorite features about this hammock that I did not even realize when I purchased it is this little pocket. The entire hammock stuffs into this thing, but then when you're using it, it can become a pocket to hold other things. Like tonight, it's holding my bear spray and my battery bank, and it's gonna hold my phone in a minute. And then inside of here, I have my sleeping bag, and then I have a sleeping bag liner, and then I've got this pillow. So after a little bit of struggling, I'm wrapped into my sleeping bag liner, and my sleeping bag is a top quilt, and I am just ever so cozy. This is it for me for tonight. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good morning. It's about 6:40. Time for me to get up and get packing and get into IPD. I struggled a little bit to get comfortable last night in the hammock. I don't think I did quite as good of a job of hanging it as I did last time, but I did sleep a little bit at least, so that's good. Can't forget part of a healthy breakfast. I found this Phocus spelled with a PH at grocery outlet. Let's see how it is. This one's orange flavored. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't hate it. All right, it's 7:15. We got about an hour and 15-minute drive. That should get us there at about exactly 8:30, which is the goal. Sorry for the mediocre audio. I'm editing this video away from home. Anyways, the images you're seeing right now are a few pictures I took at IPD of some freaking sweet Volvos. This blue one is a V70R, which is essentially the same Volvo as mine, except not lifted and with a lot more power and more handling. Not to mention a manual transmission. They also had a bunch of awesome Volvos that the employees drove in the parking lot, and they had a awesome old Volvo inside. After I'd gotten my parts at IPD, I went to a coffee shop to get some work done, and then I discovered one of my taillights was out, as you're about to see, and that's where we're gonna take back off. Well, I thought I'd take a minute and pull this out and see if it's blown, and it well and truly is. So I have like 3 of these at home from the taillights I got for rebuilding it, but I'm over here for a week, so I'm just gonna have to go buy one. All right, I'm just gonna throw this little fuel line cover on really quick. I think I just crawl under there and do it right now. Here in a parking lot, I might get a little damp, but that's okay. Okay. Oh, this is fun. Oh, this is really fun. All right, that wasn't too bad really. Just finished my coffee though and a bit of work, and now I'm gonna head out to the cabin to get a much needed shower and finish up my work day. New bulb acquired and installed, and it works. On to the cabin. Well, I made it out here, get a few more hours of work done, and then head out to the parents and maybe get started on the timing belt tomorrow. I'll see you next week though.